Now that's a scary pun. Oh, Tim Burton. You can be my butt pirate anytime. Save me, Tim Burton! Oh no, my darling boy! What happened to my darling boy? I can't watch much more of this. It's not scary, it's just shit. Paper mache and painted laser rays, dumbass monsters made of clay. If you want to scream, come scream with me. Scream, soup, scream, soup. If you want to scream, come scream with me. Scream, soup, screaming soup. What the hell is this supposed to be? Action, romance, or sci-fi comedy? I just don't have fucking time for this shit. Bring on the blood and show me the tits. If you wanna scream, come scream with me. Screaming soup, screaming soup. If you wanna scream, come scream with me.
My life fades, the vision dims. All that remains are memories. I remember a time of chaos, ruined dreams, this dive bar. But most of all, I remember the web's #1 animated horror host, the man we called Dead West. To understand who he was, you have to go back to another time when the world was bombarded by all manner of horror entertainment, and the chosen few stood up to divide the watchable from the unbearable. Gone now, swept away. For reasons long forgotten, two mighty tribes went to war and touched off a blaze that engulfed them all. In this maelstrom of pettiness, horror hosts were battered and smashed. Horror hosts like Dead West, the outlaw Dead West. In the roar of a laugh, he lost everything and became the shell of a man, a burnt-out, desperate man. A man haunted by the ass clowns of his past. A man who ventured out into the crosslands for answers. And it was here in this blighted place he learned to live again.
This is the life! Up the road with my bros, hot and heavy tunes jamming on the radio, and radiated wind blowing through my hair. Well, howdy there, Scream Freaks. As you can see, we're out of the Howland and on the open roads of the Crosslands, looking for adventure and whatever comes our way. You know, Deadbeat, I thought you were going to take better care of this ride after we fought tooth and claw for you that night at trivia. Aw, chillax, dude. You could have always taken your bike road rash. He's in heat and gone to wherever Hellspawn motorcycles mate this moon eclipse. Are we there yet? Let me check my navigator, Catfish. Well, yeah, I'm not sure. My dream just told me to go deep into the Deathwind Desert where the sky will bear his ass before I present this offering with the words Pizza Shark. Uh-huh. Turn this death trap on wheels around, Deadbeat. Dead West is leading us to our doom. Well, this is supposed to be how I get answers for kicking Buzzkill and his monster misfits out of the Howland. We can't turn around now. This means a lot to you, huh? I've got my back to the wall here. I'll do anything to get my table back from those scum dumpsters. Hey, we got your back, dude. With my mastery of some superior samurai swords bought in that pawn shop and whatever it is Catfish does, we'll help you get what's yours. Don't write my checks for me. Well, thanks, but I'm not sure we're even enough anymore for... Oh, shit, Billy, duck! Dude, what is it? Trouble that we don't need. Hang back, would you? Sure thing. What are you doing? Speed it up! We're getting road rage back here. They're going around. Hang on, dudes. Woo-wee! That was more fun than that time Billy and I won a demolition derby with monster trucks. What the hell was that about? Well, let's just say it wasn't Monster Man. Monster who? Are we talking about some dude covered in fur with big ears and antlers? Aw, man, all that dust ruined my shake. Bogus. Well, that sounds like a jackalope. No, Monster Man is a patchwork of a guy that hunts and kills his victims with a Mad Max-looking monster truck. If you're not familiar with it either, Screen Freaks, then why don't we make that tonight's review? Fasten your seatbelts and retire your Grave Digger big wheels as we review Monster Man. The meat of this backwoods tale is about two friends reconnecting on a road trip to confess their competing love for the same girl they knew from college before she gets hitched. The two anchors in this bromance is Adam, an uber-cautious human pocket protector, and his morally uninhibited buddy Harley. And when we say morally uninhibited, we mean Harley fucking does everything you're not supposed to fucking do in a horror movie.
How are these hillbillies ever gonna change unless someone points out how lame-ass they are? What the hell are you doing? A little payback of our own, buddy. Oh, yeah.
Whether this is the reason they get in trouble or not, these Vista Cruiser co-pilots find themselves on the receiving end of a shit stick courtesy of an unfriendly motorist behind the wheel of an apocalyptic armored truck on steroids. With the help of a confusing, seductive hitchhiker whose idea of pillow talk is imitating Yoda.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Dumb and Dumber Light must keep from being flattened to convince some manipulating whore to love him. Looking at the sour parts of this film, it's strangely mixed with the sweets, which is unusual for me to say. For instance, the comedic bromance between Adam and Harley is so developed, this movie could have had all the horror elements removed and actually stood on its own as a buddy comedy, ending with a wedding we never see them reach. And the same goes for the reverse, where you still have a pretty decent scary movie with blood and gore, minus all the road trip antics. So I wonder if this means the film works as the perfect hybrid of genres, or if it's just too much of an oddball mashup like Scooby-Doo meets Batman. Sure, it works and it's fun to watch, but you know one doesn't feel like it should be in the other's world.
Like you wouldn't happen to have a bat cookie on you, would you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
Oh, this was laughable. Have you ever seen Roadkill look more fake than this? Or maybe it was meant to add to the comedy this thing pumps out in spades, but it's hard to say, you know? Even when this good old boy with the distracting wardrobe gets killed, you find yourself chuckling more at this Halloween decoration corpse than being scared or grossed out. Lame attempt at horror or tongue-in-cheek comedy? At least they made sure our title killer Monster Man looks cool, or should I call him by one of his actual screen names? His psycho devil-worshipping family calls him Brother Bob, but his victims call him
Fuckface. Well, this is a perfect place for old Fuckface to nail us.
Oh, Fuckface! I know who you're talking about now. Oh yeah, dude, that's one sick road rager there. Where did this Monster Man vibe come from? The movie's called Monster Man, you know, witty wordplay on a monster driving a monster truck, but I have to admit, Fuckface is way more fun to say. Kids would have loved it. They'd be in class saying, "You watch any scary movies over the weekend?" "Yeah, I saw Fuckface, this freak who kills people with his fuck truck." Then they'd be all, "I gotta check that out," and Google it as soon as they get home, then forget all about the movie when their search makes them eternally distracted by porn. Like any good monster flick, this peculiar genre blend doesn't have any pissing time boring us to tears, thankfully. And there's only 2 bogus scares, but I feel weird counting them. I mean, I've never been one to budge from a false jump scare, but it's like the filmmakers weren't even trying to make them effective. Ah, Fuckface! Ah, great, who do we piss off now? Maybe we just need to throw him a fish stick. That's not funny, you ass. Billy! Well, here he comes again. Oh, most heinous, dude! Oh, come on, dudette. Well, give us some gas. Oh, I deduce the engine is most flooded. I better let the deadbeat mobile sit out for a bit. Ah, perfect. What else could put a hitch in our giddy up? Well, I can't just sit in this metal box in this heat. I'll dry out and die. Where are you going? I need to clear my head and figure some shit out. What the fuck am I doing here, Billy? The damn sharktopus was probably another one of Buzzkill's tricks. Oh, I hate that no-good, grease-faced, dickless lying sack of... Hey, wait. When the sky bears its ass, I'm here. This is it. Okay. Pizza Shark. We got a live one, Screen Freaks! Why don't we finish up our review while I make my way over there? Turning our focus to the sweets of this film is definitely fun to watch. Seriously, all fine lines between genres aside, this was a very entertaining movie. You got characters you actually care about, a banging girl, and a frightening situation with a cool killer, and even creepier lore that borrows from things like Phantasm and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. See, the threat in this family is actually Fuckface and his incest family. Fuckface was all fucked up from a monster truck accident he had after running over his brother Fred. Their satanic worshipping sister, the hitchhiker Sarah, saves him from certain death with black magic, but learns Fred's injuries need a lot more than a sewing needle like Fuckface. After experimenting on Fred with body part replacements, which Fuckface takes from the locals, Sarah decides to pull out the big spell books for a more permanent solution and attempts a total soul switch. That's when she finds Adam and puts him through some elaborate preparations for the ritual without him even realizing it. Now, it all sounds bad, but at least he lost his virginity.
4 times, just to be sure.
If this were to have been shot as a straight horror, I think it should have been told from the family side of the story, as rich as the material sounds. But, you know, there will probably never be a sequel, so this family story won't be continued anytime soon, and it'd be hard to anyway. Adam proves once again you can have sex and survive a horror as long as you sleep with the killer, and uses his newfound last girl powers after being de-virgined to slit Sarah's throat, cut down Fred, and run fuckface over until there's nothing left. Now that's how you survive a fucking horror movie. Speaking of surviving a horror, listen how many bodies this thing stacks up. Got 1, 2, 3.
I'm a corpse burrito, dude!
You gotta be fucking kidding me. 3? This movie's so down the middle of genres that even half the average horror movie body count? Alright, well let's add Sarah death. That's at least 4 and... ah shit. Fred and Fuckface are taken down, but they're still technically alive at the end, leaving us with only 4 bodies? Well, ain't that some shit? Given the only girl in this whole story is Sarah, and she's gotta take Adam's virginity, we surely have to have boobs. What? Nothing? Not even a side boob or a nip slip? And she's even screwing Adam in her clothes? Poor guy. Finally does the dirty but can't even see anything. That fucking blows. Well, fear not and feast your eyes upon these. Billy, let's ignore the fact we're in a desert and nuke the filmic ingredients of this film for a rating. 45. Despite the low body count, lack of boobs, and tight-roping the fine line between a comedy and a horror, Monster Man is too entertaining to dismiss as a humdrum film. I'd recommend this for fans of monster trucks, obviously, Road Trips Gone to Hell, and American Pie, but what do I know? I like Killer Tomato movies.
Greetings.
Howdy. I traveled a long ways to find you. My name's Dead West. I'm a horror host trying to understand everything there is to know about horror movies so that I may have the perfect film ingredients for making my own successful scary flick for infamy and fortune.
Is that for us?
Yeah, here you go. So look, I'm needing help with taking care of this ass clown that stole my favorite table I normally host my show from.
You should have focused on more widely acceptable genres like dramas or family entertainment. Maybe even musicals. I didn't order pineapple.
This isn't the time. Okay. Do you have any advice for getting rid of an idiot welding a hand-drawn copy of the Book of the Dead with cheesy bee monsters as minions?
I would advise you to try to listen better when taking an order.
Seriously, just pick the pineapples off.
Hey, who's got the breadsticks?
What's going on here? Is there somebody behind there?
I need to return this for the pizza I ordered, please.
Wes!
No freaking way! Wes Craven and Sean Cunningham?
Ah, way to go, Wes. What part of staying behind the totem didn't you get? Haven't you ever seen The Wizard of Oz?
But the wizard was found behind the curtain.
Not on purpose.
I had to taste all the drinks to know which one was mine. So, you guys are gonna have some backwash of yours.
Fucking John fucking Carpenter too? What are you guys doing out here?
The Crosslands is a great place to scout for new talent for our films. Or just using this haunted house prop for keeping a low profile, so we're not annoyed by lousy talents wanting a picture.
Well, when's the last time something like that happened?
Remember Ghost of Mars? I would like the pepperoni pizza I ordered, please.
Well, what's all this fuss about pizza?
Our order you delivered? What do you think we're talking about?
Pizza Shark? Oh, I could have been so fucking stupid. Duped into being some pizza parlor's delivery boy like a chump. Look, I'm sorry about the pizza, but can I talk shop with you about horror movies? Like, what inspired you to be the superstars of horror that you are?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you'll excuse me, I guess I have to go find something else to eat.
My pizza's getting cold, so I better go too.
But wait, I have so many questions at my table.
Just have your people call my people.
Well, that was a waste of time. Come on, Billy.
Hey, don't you want your tip?
Tip? Sure, what you got for me?
This clown you mentioned, he's giving you hell, huh?
Oh, that's an understatement.
You know, in my movie Starman, the message was about people at their best when things are at their worst.
Oh, I remember that. It's a pretty positive message.
I only wish it was true.
So what, I'm just doomed to failure? Just saddle my bike and disappear into that old moon set?
No, I wouldn't say that. No magic I know of will trump a Book of the Dead, copy or not. But when it comes to his monsters, maybe you should fight fire with a bigger fire.
A bigger fire?
Here, take this tailhouse coupon and ask for this girl. She'll hook you up with some of the meanest guys out there. I'm sure will give you the edge.
Well, thanks, partner.
We horror fans gotta stick together.
He is too cool for school. We gotta hurry back to the car and follow this lead. Seems the road trip's not over yet, so I'll see you later, Scream Freaks. there, Scream Freaks. Well, thank you kindly for watching, and help yourself to more servings of Screaming Sue by visiting our site at screamingsoup.com. You can read our weekly updates, character bios, and interviews, catch up on past episodes, browse our store, and drool over the Howlin' Hottie of the Week. If you want to scream at us, just holler at screamingsoup@gmail.com, and don't forget to stalk us through social media, conveniently linked at the top of the site.